everybody's ready and has everything they need to do a show.
Just a minute.
Cool.
I just realized my computer's not plugged in. It's like, we're about to shut down. Don't do that, please.
Plug the computer in.
There we
Make
go.
sure you've got a news story.
You're riding the struggle bus today, Carol the cat.
Yeah. Well,
Look, it's us.
my tablet died, so I had to
Oh no.
find a camera and set up my old laptop.
Womp womp. Is it under warranty? Are you going to be able to get a new one?
Oh gosh, no, it's ancient, so.
Well, when you say it died, it's your audio ports, right?
It's the audio, yeah. I mean, I can still read on it and go online, but my audio device disappeared.
Holy shit, boss.
Yikes. Like it got
So I have
disconnected
no-
inside probably or something.
Yes,
Ugh,
no
that's
input or
annoying.
output. The little volume thing does nothing now. Doesn't even bring up the volume.
Is connected inside.
Sucks.
What you may want to do is go into Device Manager and just scan for new hardware.
Oh,
Because
I'll
it
try that.
Sometimes hardware gets unenabled or like
Yeah.
disactivated.
I tried restoring it.
Disactivated? Did I just say
Just said
disactivated?
disactivated.
and you say when you
Deactivated.
I don't know why when you call IT they walk you through it like you're a child. It boggles my mind.
It's damning.
I'm like, yes, I did turn it off and turn it back on. Yes, I have restarted my computer. Yes, I did check to make sure all the connections are intact.
I don't know why it's disactivated.
I'm not in Europe. I don't need an adapter.
You're disactivated.
The funniest thing that I think I've ever heard was, and it's still something quoted to this day, was something that you said, Terry. I think you said, shut your mouth and it was like, shut your mouth and look at this. This was at Balticon many years ago in one of the rooms. And we were just all like, what? You don't need to listen. You were like, shut the fuck up with your science. That line is quoted to this day. And that was probably 15, 16, almost 20 years ago, something like that. Long time ago.
Crazy.
I've always had a potty mouth.
But it was just it was just the beauty of those words being strung together. Shut the fuck up with your science. It's just pure elegance in its simplicity.
One of the best I got is people still putting Hunter's pegging and porium as something in Quiplash on Jackbox.
Sometimes jokes just stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that's lasted is corpse insulation.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep them warm somehow, but not too warm because then it spoils the experience.
No, I think it's you're using the corpses as insulation.
Oh,
Oh, you know what?
went the other way with that. Sorry.
They're equally horrifying.
You know what? I should probably open up Cartwell.
Yeah, it'd probably help.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be helpful.
Otherwise, you just have to do all the sounds with your mouth. Bum, bum,
Like I'm going to remember what everybody's quotes are. Jesus.
bum. You make the funny. I make the funny. You make the laughy. Oh, I don't think you're dumb. I think when it comes to thinking, you just have bad luck. Would be another one.
Boom.
Wait, where are you going? Come back here when I'm trying to explain feminism to you. Oh, they're coming back. Just realized two of my favorite lines are from Powerless.
God damn that show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And pretty much anything Alan Tudyk is in at this point
is
is golden.
is it possible anywhere to see the episode with Adam West that never made it to air?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I do not know.
Pisses me off. There's episodes of that I have not seen. I'm like, grr.
Yep.
Me too. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
It's Powerless.
Oh, that was a good show.
With Alan Tudyk and Danny Pudi and
Vanessa
Hudgens.
was random, and she was great in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was. She certainly was.
All right, well,
You want to do some nonsense?
Monkey?
sure.
Just kidding.
Damn. Shit just got real.
Yeah.
But they're not lazy. This is just a limited edition episode. It's GRD Weekly.
Limited edition. Ooh, should I add some sparkles or something to the visual?
Bit of a break.
I thought you already had like some glitter drops or something that was going to confetti, like animations happen. Really?
I'm not as prepared as you are with all the sound drops, sir.
Yeah, I'm prepared. Hi, everyone. Welcome to GRD Weekly episode number
311.
311.
Hello.
Well, I guess it's three. Hey,
It's the Sublime episode.
in that case, it's 311. Let's get this right, okay? There's the right way to do things. There's a wrong way to do things. Let's make them happen. The folks bringing things to you on this fine day. The lady who does have what folks like to call the ideas. Sure, that's a good word for it. Joining us this fine, fantastic evening. Oh my God! Everyone's. Wow, that's crazy. Guess what? Everyone's intros are gone. Yay!
It's the lady that did the thing. It's
They're not
Just
there.
push a random button. It'll be funny. It'll be like intro roulette.
Sure. This is yours.
So, is that why you're being such a bitch?
Fair enough. And with no warning whatsoever as to what this possibly is. Hey, everybody! Look, Carol is here,
Oh, I never thought I'd say this, but I really miss the Zima.
and of course, the man known far and wide that there's podcasters Rich Siegfried.
Don't get me wrong, I'd still do her.
Oh, please, you do name a noun.
Oh God! Hi, everyone. And
Corpse
I'm the
insulation.
wonderful Billy Flynn.
See how I let that just go by? Look at me. I am the perfect gentleman.
It's crazy. There was two intros left up on the thing. The other two are missing. I don't know where the hell they are because they were there yesterday when I checked all this. Yay! This is why you check things ahead of time. So, other than being a jackass and totally screwing up at the beginning of a show, what's been going on lately, yo?
It's all good. We don't have to be perfect. And honestly, I thought those were really funny. So, I mean, good for you.
How dare me put forth an effort?
Dude, not only did I have serious ADHD. I 100% forgot about the show. But in like an instant, I put together a perfect Geeky Week where I didn't forget a single solitary thing and found a great news story. So just so you know, I'm a consummate mother effing professional.
Make sure you send me the link so I can update the notes then.
I put it in the Google Doc. Because remember, if you're going to do a podcast, you got to have a Google Doc. Have you made that as a drop yet? Is that today's stinger? I don't want to spoil it.
That's actually in Podcasting for Dummies. I just don't know where my copy is right now.
The one that we autographed? We all autographed for each other.
It's not a stinger. It's not a stinger, but if you'd like it.
First of all, a podcast takes a lot of work, okay?
Thank you. I also updated the data validation with the drop down so that there would be some more dates. So
nice.
I'll add more dates. I guess I wasn't sure how long we'd last when I first set it up, or else I just got tired of adding in dates and was like, whatever.
Is that why you forgot about today's episode because the last one was last week and you were just like, oh, I guess we're not doing it anymore.
We're not doing it anymore. I guess the world did end with the eclipse.
Backed by popular demand of 3 of the 4 hosts of this show, it's GRD Weekly.
Oh, congratulations everyone on surviving the last rapture. Just so you know, the next one is scheduled for April 23rd.
Look, I was just as surprised as anybody else that it actually didn't happen because it did happen on Rex Manning Day.
Exactly. And the next eclipse on Rex Manning Day will not occur for 347 years.
Well, I'll see you guys at that one.
Exactly.
Peace out.
And
yeah, the eclipse was fun. Go ahead.
Oh, just even better, real quick, for the April 23rd apocalypse, rapture. This one's fantastic because there's like some Bible verse about a woman with the sun and water and a pointed hat thing. And this actually ties into when this April 23rd, Virgo is going to be. Zodiac and biblical verses are coming together for the rapture now. Because Virgo is going to be somewhere, it means the rapture is the end of the world. Awesome. That's the world we live in now.
Yeah. When you explained it to me the other day, it made more sense, but it doesn't make any sense.
But I was actually reading the thing. I was reading the article.
I did watch the eclipse. Somebody at work brought a bunch of glasses, so we all went outside and then let every passerby who happened to walk by on the street, because I work downtown in the city now, so there's just a bunch of random people that walk by. So we were sharing glasses. It was quite a community event. It was very fun. We got out there a good 20 minutes beforehand. We took a big selfie in the elevator. I felt like Ellen. It was cool because it was like an appreciation of science. And it's like, I was telling to somebody, I said, no other day of the year am I ever even compelled to look directly at the sun. But today I want to so bad. Just look right at it. I mean, obviously, don't do that. But like, I've never felt compelled to stare directly at the sun. And I just really wanted to. But we had the glasses and everything. And it was really fun. Did you all make it out, watch the eclipse?
Yeah, for like 2 minutes, I had my glasses, went out there, looked at it, came back in, went back to work. So,
are you 100% remote all the time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See,
so I just kind of went out my front door.
Yeah, I was talking about that with a coworker the other day. How about we do a hybrid schedule where we go in part like 3 days a week and 2 from home, which I really like. I also like being around people like a lot. So I don't know. I think work from home all the time would be. I don't know that I would.
They determined that we were twice as effective when we were at home, so they just left us here.
Well, I do like being able to throw in a little laundry on my lunch break. That's pretty nice. So there's that.
Like working with no pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the eclipse, Rich?
I saw the. I got out there about 10 minutes after it had, hit its zenith or peak or whatever. I saw a little bit of it. It was really cool just because it was so dark outside. It wasn't, nowhere near totality, obviously, but it was like that there was somebody had kind of put a filter over it and adjusted the opacity to like 60%. So it was that eerie darkness.
Interesting. Well, because I don't want to put your whole business out there as far as where you live or whatever, because whatever. But I think you're west of us, so you maybe were closer. Because it didn't get like dark. It got like
no,
a little hazy.
Yeah, that's it would, like I said, about 60%. Bright as it normally was or so. But it was really neat. Yeah, no, I'm south of you guys. And I
knew that part, dumbass.
A little bit. Well, you just said west, okay? I'm actually the next house over. It is a little awkward now telling you about this. I've just been avoiding you guys for the past few years. But it was really cool. I didn't have any of the glasses because it's just one of those things that snuck up on me. I just totally forgot that it was going to be a thing. I was legitimately remembered that it was Rex Manning Day more than it was this really rare eclipse and apocalypse and rapture and stuff like that.
The eclipse phenomenon?
Really? I'm looking at stuff and you want to mess with me?
Thank you.
But I was surprised it happened really quickly. It was like it was over in a flash.
Looking at Cartwell. Do it. You're not talking about the right flash. Looking at Cartwell, it's weird because so Rich, your intro is missing, and Flintstone, your intro is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is there and mine is there. Their intros disappeared. I don't know where they went. That's weird.
Oh.
So fortunately, we're past the intro. So is everything else there? You got like chubby music and stuff. Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
Nobody cares.
Also, kind of tangential, like with my same like work crew,
Mm-hmm.
when our like vendor team is in town, they don't come every week. We go and do some like fun excursion with them after work hours. So we went rock climbing at one of those like indoor rock climbing places, and it was really fun. But like that's way harder than you think it is. Like I got about 80% of the way up on my second attempt. The first time I got about halfway up. And then I was like, whoa, this hurts everywhere. So I was like, I'm done taking my fat ass down the thing, right? But then I was like, okay, I paid like, $25 to do this. I'm going to try again, right? So I go up this different course and I get almost all the way up. And then one of the foot jabbies, I don't know what they're called, started to sort of move a little. And I was like, get me off of here. I'm not slipping and fall. I mean, like, it's not like you could fall, because they have all that like safety stuff. But we did have to sign like multiple waivers, but it was super fun. And then this is what makes it sort of geeky. Oh, and I forgot something about the eclipse that was geeky. One of my coworkers did play Total Eclipse of the Heart on her phone while we were out watching the eclipse, because it's like a matter of seconds different.
4 seconds difference from the totality and the song.
Yeah. And I had a friend, coworker, who actually traveled to like the San Antonio area to be in the path of the totality. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I mean, the only other song you could really play would be Black Hole Sun, I suppose.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good one. Be a pretty good one. And then since I have Photoshop and I was playing around with generative fill because I've been wanting to mess with that, I took a picture that one of my coworkers had taken of me on the rock climbing wall, and I have Photoshopped myself onto all of like famous mountains of the world, like the top of Everest and like Mount Rushmore, and yeah, so I might put a couple of them in the chat or in like maybe the GRD group because it's pretty funny how they came out. Or if if we're friends on like Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen it today. But yeah, I was like, oh, let me play around with this Photoshop, and I didn't actually like the way it auto selected, so I ended up going in and like kind of refining the selection, but it was better than like it used to be, 5 years ago for sure. I feel like we're getting to the point where you won't even have to know how to use Photoshop anymore, but that's okay. I don't need to gatekeep Photoshopping skills from others, but it took me a long time to learn it. So I'm kind of like, but cancel student loan debt. Anyway.
Keep in mind that the administration is doing what they can, but there's limited as to what they can do.
That's true. I just meant it sounded for a second there like I was making a parallel between like I had to suffer, so you should too, and I don't mean that. But it did take me a long time to learn how to Photoshop, so I don't, I don't mean that everyone else needs to also go through that like suffering.
At this point in time, Canva, with the paid subscription, there isn't that much more that you can do with Photoshop that you can't do with that. It has amazing green screen removal features and all kinds of stuff.
And they've got all the generative stuff too. We use the we even sometimes use the magic write, like you type in what you want it to say, and then they have like different style choices. You can make it sound more flowery, you can make it sound more professional, you can make it like, so it uses the basically the same exact machine learning stuff that ChatGPT, etc., right? But like built right into Canva. So if you're working on a presentation, it's just there. So that's kind of cool. We are not sponsored by Canva, but Canva, if you want to, by all means.
Pro accounts are awesome.
GeekRadioDaily.com. Thank you. Okay. Star Trek Discovery is back. There's an episode that I see that we have to watch, that we could watch tonight if we wanted to, episode 3. So Billy Flynn and I have watched 2 episodes of I don't know why I called you Billy. We watched 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. And go ahead.
No.
Oh, it sounded like you were going to say something.
I just said a lot.
Well, they spent the whole, like the last episode of season 2, everybody's splitting up and going their own separate ways, right? Tilly's going back to the academy. I don't think it's a spoiler at this point because they're starting the new season. I think that fits into our realm, right? But they all kind of are like going off and doing their own thing. And then it's like the very first episode, they contrive to get them all back together. It's like we never had any like tension or Burnham having to do things on her own, So I guess actually that probably is sort of a spoiler if you haven't like started it at all.
Oh God!
But if you've seen any trailers or anything, it's like they're going to bring everybody back. But then they're turning right around, and also then they're gonna, after this mission or after this day. It's weird when they say day, like good day at work, right? And Starfleet's just weird because I don't know. I just feel like days aren't the same when you're not on like a world with like the sun cycle. I am so babbling. Anyway, Flynn, what did you think of Star Trek Discovery?
I enjoy Star Trek.
And so, since this is a Star Trek show,
Callum Keith Rennie is in it now. The man is awesome. I've watched him in things people have never even heard of. That guy is incredible to watch. That's fantastic. So, and him.
I know him from something. He was a bad guy in something.
He's a bad guy in most things.
He was a bad guy in Battlestar Galactica, is where you know him from.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Right. Yes.
But I know him from Due South. Ha!
Yeah, he's a really good actor, and I'm stoked to see how they're going to use him. And I think that there was a really good template with the one dude that was in Picard. The other captain that was in Picard, where they basically shanghaied the ship. No, not the Spanish guy. The Starfleet guy. That was he was a former engineer and now a captain, and was not a fan of Picard. I think that he's kind of the template for what they're doing with Callum. So I think it'll be good. I like the direction they're going with. This is obviously the final season of Discovery. And I think that it's off to a really good start. I'm looking forward to, and I have no qualms with old crew members coming on back that we had said goodbye to and whatnot. But as long as we get a little bit more Tig, We definitely want more Tig.
Yes.
And I think that if they keep going on with the direction they're going, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It is tough to talk about without some spoilers, but I think it's great.
And, because of that whole like bringing back the people and then them going their own ways,
Mhm.
etc., that kind of thing. There's been a fair amount of nostalgia retrospective on kind of like, remember when we first met and you saw something in me, kind of like
Yeah.
thanks for everything sort of like moments that
Mhm.
make you think about how far the show has really come. Like literally, you talk about time jumping in shows, like this has to be one of the
I
most
mean,
significant gaps, right?
I mean, I suppose
So
next to the Planet of the Apes TV show or
yeah, you got
Land of the
what
Lost
else?
or
Land of the Lost, that's a
Yeah.
pretty good one.
well, I don't know,
Yeah.
Doctor
It was
Who.
a pretty significant one.
I mean, I don't know exactly how far they often went on the time tunnel, but a couple of those episodes might have.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, the time tunnel in color.
Although, can we admit that Tilly's hair, when we first saw her back, was ridiculous? That curly mullet
Okay.
thing that she had, it was
That does
dumb.
not flatter her as well as her previous hairdo did.
No, but they put it up in a nice way for the rest of the episode. It was like, oh, okay, there's the Tilly we like.
I want her hair the other way.
Comparably, it doesn't live up at all, but at least it wasn't that stupid mullet that she poodle mullet thing. Ugh.
And like when your hair is such a big defining feature of like your physicality like that, it's like when Felicity cut her hair. Remember that? Because she had that long, like super curly hair. So at least she didn't cut it. Or at least she did, but at least she didn't cut it all off. So I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
I watch
but
manly
which is
shows,
worse.
but I do remember when Rachel Aniston changed her.
I like the short-haired Felicity.
It was more like I just dated myself with that reference. That was not exactly a recent show.
Next up on GRD, who shot JR?
I mean, I'm sure it was like, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Probably more like, I don't even want to.
No, don't think about it. Just don't think about it.
No. I watched The Crown and I've been watching episodes of that. And like, okay, it's kind of messed up. Like, I didn't cry when Princess Diana died, or maybe teared up a little bit, but I really cried when Princess Margaret died, her sister, the Queen's sister, because like she was an established character from the earlier seasons, right? Like, we see her over the course of her entire life. And even though, and it was really they were both obviously very tragic, like, whatever. But, yeah, it's interesting, that whole mix of like what is fiction and what is reality there. And I really shouldn't care. I should let them have their privacy and not watch this show, but it's entertaining and I enjoy it. We also started watching Has Been Hotel. That's on Amazon Prime. And what is her like name that she goes by? Wednesday something? Wednesday. No, I meant like Brittany. What is Brittany's like name in the world of things? Anyway, I guess she has like a cosplay name. I was just gonna like shout her out or whatever.
Yeah, Wednesday.
But she had done. Yeah, well,
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
Morning, like MOUR, right? The whole morning play on words. Got it. Okay, so take two. Wednesday morning had done a really cool song from Has Been Hotel at karaoke the last time that we hosted karaoke, and I was like, "What the heck is that show?" And so that show is random. It is pretty messed up, and then all of a sudden they burst into like really, really well done songs, and that are also so inappropriate. Yeah, that's a show. Have you all seen it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the stuff that's on the latest stuff. I saw it when it was on when it was like YouTube small animations and stuff. My kids showed them to me, and I was just like, "Wow, this is never going to be on TV." And then, of course, fast forward.
Has anyone gotten in contact with you about last minute throwing a costume together?
Me? In the past? Yeah.
No, not you, sir. Well, I told people they should, because I found out that the group, remember how last year you joined the whole Mario group?
Mm-hmm.
This year they're doing Has Been Hotel.
Oh. Well, I decided I was.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh.
Well, no, it was the thought like, huh?
There. Just, wow.
No, I decided that I wasn't going to cosplay at all this year at RavenCon. I don't know. Well, because like you remember last year, I sort of like entered the masquerade because MJ wanted to do it. right?
Mhm.
I joined in with their group cosplay because I thought it would be
That's
fun
right.
and something I could put together and something that I like to do. I was all about that. But then MJ wanted me to be in the masquerade with her. And then I ended up like winning best of show. So
Yep.
it was kind of weird. And so I'm just like, I don't see how I
I'm going
top
out on
that.
top.
So I don't see how I top that. So I was planning on
You put the
taking
wig
a
on
year off
again.
from cosplaying.
Well, what you can do is if you enter when they're signing you up, just say, I wish not to be in the running for any prizes or anything like that. And then for you, it's an exhibition sort of a thing. And you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And you
No,
can
I was
still
just
do the
planning
thing.
on not packing and bringing any kind of costume.
Well, sure,
at all
that's
and just enjoying
easier.
myself. Yes, in my
That's
non-costume.
what she should.
Carol, will we see Mrs. Roper?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And so-
Probably Friday night. We'll be hanging
Yay.
out at the bar. So come and knock on our door. We'll be waiting.
I don't know. Now I'm feeling like, well, what if I do accidentally hit like a last minute like bug, get a decision that I actually want to do something?
But that is one of the
I
most
could.
comfortable cosplays I've ever done. Seriously, I think I have entered the caftan phase of my life. They're just, it was
That
just
does
so
look awesome.
comfortable walking
Where do you
around.
even find it? Did you get it online?
No,
or?
I just got it off of Amazon. Just search Mrs. Roper caftan or Mrs. Roper wig.
Wow.
They have a whole selection.
Gosh, that's awesome. I remember I was thinking, oh, maybe Goodwill. Like you could always look at Goodwill.
Yeah,
but
you can always. I mean, caftans are easy. I planned on making one from like gothy fabric, so I can be like the goth Mrs. Roper.
oh,
Only
that's
'cause all the kids
hilarious.
absent.
Would you have the black wig, the black
Yeah.
curly wig?
I would get like a prank wig or
Like-
something.
Oh my god, that's
That's-
so
that's
funny.
awesome.
I love that. You could each do like different versions of Mrs. Roper. That's really hilarious. That's hilarious.
I want to be Mrs.
I'd
Groper.
be like
What?
roller derby Roper.
Yeah, there you go.
Like skates. Oh my god, that would be funny. Okay. Obviously Tracker. We're still watching Tracker and we will forever. And it's fun and we enjoy it.
The show's good. His shirt hasn't been off for many episodes now. It's still a good
And
show.
we're still watching.
Still
So
a good show.
it must be good.
Hope springs eternal.
Well,
That's true.
there's
It
that.
does. Yeah. But he's had a couple of like, will they, won't they kind of like women in his life, like a rival and like his ex who's still sort of around. So, there's always potential. But he's a loner and he doesn't want to connect with anybody. So, he just want to.
You know what's great for that? Cruising spots. Hi everyone. How you doing? How you doing?
Wow.
I mean, I'd watch that show.
Yeah. We also watch Top Chef, and that's on. We're behind one episode on that, but it's always a good time. Even though it's rigged, and I know it, and I don't know. I think the reason why we always wanted to watch it, right, was because it was about the food and about the cooking, and you could sort of suspend your disbelief that it was rigged like every other like stupid reality show, right? They have them cook it multiple times, right? Some of the behind the scenes stuff, but in this season, one of the guys like got drunk and was stupid and insulted people, and they like kicked him off the he had lost, and they have this thing, this last chance kitchen, where like the person who loses fights against everybody else and they get a chance to get back into the competition. And then so instead of doing that, they bring in an alternate, like the 16th guy, which makes sense, except they say if he can get through 5 people, he will get back into the competition then, right? He doesn't have to go all the way through from start to finish if he can get through 5 people. So it's kind of like, well, you're not going to have him go out on the very first one because like that doesn't make for good television, So I'm not saying that they're like, I guess I'm accusing them of like
You
conspiracy
100% are
theory
accusing them.
of rigging the show, but it just seemed, I was just like, there's no way that he loses that. They don't bring him in and go through all that fanfare, and then he doesn't even make it past the first round. I don't know.
See, so you don't appreciate any of his efforts at all. My gosh. Man's
I mean, he's fine.
You're like, he's a
Way
shit.
better than me.
If I
he's way
may.
better than me. I'm just saying.
If I may, just a Dana Gould's take on reality TV. You are watching people that are not actors in phony situations created by people that are not writers, and the non-actors are second guessing how they think you would like to see them behave were this situation genuine, which it isn't. and you are passively observing this. You're technically not even alive at this point. You are watching an amateur production of nothing.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like looking at a picture of a photocopy of a fax of a hologram.
So,
Except for the Great British Bake Off. That's totally real.
No,
Right.
100%.
Right. That's totally real.
so very quickly, we watched Top Chef because someone used to watch really effing horrible reality shows. Real World Road Rules Challenge. And I had no interest.
Horrible.
No interest at all. I would literally
Horrible.
go to another room and do my own thing. It's like, what about this Top Chef? What is it about? So I said, all right, so there's no like who's hooking up with who. Nothing really. It's just about the food. Okay, I'll watch the show.
And it generally is. There's every now and then there's a contestant who's a total a-hole, and like there is some people drama, but they generally get along with each other because they're just trying to cook their best food. So anyway, and then last on the list, I think we may have one episode that we're behind on, but we watched Bad Batch, and absolutely love Bad Batch, and so I think we're finally really getting to this whole thing, and like it's kind of dark a little bit, obviously, I mean, it can get there sometimes with Star Wars, but yeah, like Omega knows that she just can't run forever, and it's interesting to see where the season is going to go. So I do absolutely love Bad Batch. So yeah, wow, I'm sorry I talked for like a while, but that has been my Geeky Week, and Flynn will be able to tell me if I actually forgot anything or not.
No, I just wrote down what I did.
Okay. Yeah, we do have stuff that we don't always do everything together.
Tell me about it.
Carol?
I'll go next. Movie-wise, I went to the theater twice. I went and saw Monkey Man, which is the directorial debut of Dev Patel. It's been called the Indian John Wick, and he does lean into that a couple of times, but it deals with a lot of political intrigue in India and human rights. It's really good. The shaky cam gets a bit much in some of the fight scenes, but I'm impressed that this is, but he does weird things with the camera as well during some of the fight scenes, so it's interesting. I look forward to seeing what he does next. That one I gave four popcorn buckets. It was really entertaining, but it is incredibly violent and very bloody.
Okay.
So just keep in mind, it earns that R rating.
What was it called again? What did you say again?
Monkey Man. Monkey Man.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
He plays
Cool.
he plays an underground fighter who.
I have seen the trailer. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Half monkey, half man.
Fighting mole people.
But he fights in a monkey
Is
mask.
it the top half or the bottom half?
He's like a human monkey centaur, where he's just got a paws and a tail, but then the rest up, it's Dev Patel, the very handsome Dev Patel.
Muscle guy kind of whooping around like a baboon. Okay. Then I went and saw Godzilla times Kong, Godzilla plus Kong, Godzilla Kong,
Godzilla cross Kong.
You had an entire monkey weekend apparently.
Yeah, I did. And it's fine. If Godzilla minus this has the unfortunate thing of following Godzilla -1, and nothing is going to look good compared to Godzilla -1. So if Godzilla -1 is akin to the original Gojira, this is akin to Godzilla versus Megalon, where instead of Jet Jaguar, you have King Kong. So,
what about Gamera? He's friend to all children.
Well, Mothra is there. She is friend to one children.
Incidentally, didn't you also watch Curious George versus Mothra?
I also watched Dunstan Checked In.
Versus
BJ the Bear.
Mecha Godzilla.
She watched Ed. Remember Ed?
God. But it's fine. It's all CGI. I will say I went with a friend and her 12-year-old daughter who I introduced to Godzilla, and she is a huge fan. And halfway through the film, she leaned over and said, "They need to remember who got top billing in this picture." because it is very King Kong centric.
She's gonna be calling somebody's representation.
Yeah, she was very not pleased that Godzilla kind of got backseated in this film.
Nobody puts Godzilla in a corner.
nobody puts that lizard in a corner. So yeah, but it's fine. It's fun. It's stupid science, really, really stupid science. And you have a small King Kong finds more apes, and this little kid ape hangs out with him. I immediately dubbed him Kongzuki, and I don't. He apparently had a name, but I don't even know what it was. But it just reminded me of the monkeys from the first Jumanji movie, the Robin Williams Jumanji movie. It doesn't look good.
Okay.
So Kong looks good. Godzilla looks good. Everything around them looks a little. Oh, and there are some humans that do things. So it's fine. I gave it 3 popcorn buckets. It's fine. And then TV-wise, I watched the Apple TV documentary, 2-part documentary on Steve Martin called Steve Martin. The first part deals with his stand-up career, and then the second part deals with everything else. I will say I enjoyed part 1 quite a bit. Part 2 seemed very light on information, but it's a documentary on Steve Martin, and he is notoriously private, so I didn't expect an in-depth documentary. I did like
he has
that.
quite the art collection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's done exhibitions of his art, and it does go into his art collections as well. But I wanted a bit more on his writing, and they just gloss over that really quickly. It's obvious some things were off the table. They don't mention Bernadette Peters at all. And they don't interview Victoria Tennant. So he mentions like his first marriage for like 30 seconds, and that's it. It's fun to watch Steve Martin. So I enjoyed it.
Don't talk about the Pink Panther.
He does mention the Pink Panther.
Are you kidding me? Why? Why? Oh God.
Oddly enough,
that
for his
probably
film
played
career,
great.
They actually kind of focus on the flops or the bad films.
Okay.
Like the film they most talk about is Pennies from Heaven, which is a film I actually really love, but it just died at the box office and was trashed by critics. So it's weird, but they focus on his poorly received films rather than like Roxanne or Parenthood.
The Jerk.
Part of me wonders if that was a
bit on The Jerk, but
part of me wonders if that was a requirement for him.
I think so, because he does like to dwell on his failures.
Hey, look, not enough people talk about Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
True.
That one he oddly did not mention.
Are you kidding me?
The Man with Two Brains? Come on now.
Yeah, I was hoping they would mention like Novocaine too, but it's very kind of just picks and choose which ones he talks about. So the second part was kind of odd, but I did like the fact that he insisted that his daughter not be shown. And she's 7, so obviously, yeah.
Attaboy, Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Right?
His wife is significantly younger than he is.
No.
I think there's like 30 years between them, but I can't say anything because she met him in her late 30s, so I'm not gonna. It's like, yeah,
it's not like she was young.
Yeah, it's not like she was 21. But yeah, he has a 7-year-old daughter, and whenever she only comes on screen once, and they do like this huge stick drawing of a little girl that goes over her as she goes to hug him and then leave the room. So
that's great.
Yeah, but they do talk to his wife, and it's a good documentary, but don't expect to learn a whole bunch about.
Did they have a lot of like clips from his stand-up?
From stand-up, yeah. The first hour is all of his stand-up, and they have a lot of clips. Plus, he kept like detailed journals throughout his stand-up career. So they refer to that, and he still has them. So he refers to that occasionally. Like, oh, here's my notes on this show back when, and this joke didn't work, but that did. And then they have like extended periods of him and Martin Short going through lists of jokes for their tour. And
I still gotta watch that. I still gotta watch that.
Yeah, so that's fun. Those two are like a old married couple.
Oh yeah.
It's fun watching them work together. And then I also watched the first episode, the big episode of Fallout.
Yes.
On Amazon Prime, and I actually enjoyed that. I've never played the game, but I thought the first episode was really, really good, and I'm looking forward to it. And you can't go wrong with what's his name, Walter Croggins.
Walton Goggins.
I always like screw his name because he's got a weird ass name, but he's excellent in everything he is in, and I'm assuming his part will get bigger as the show goes on. His part, not his role, not his.
Okay.
I mean, he's playing a ghoul. Nothing much is going to get bigger. Anyway, I'm assuming his role will get bigger because he just kind of tail ends the first episode.
Oh God, did she just freeze again?
Looks like it.
I think she.
Wow, she hasn't frozen an episode. That's crazy. Normally,
sorry, I had to look up who he is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey Terry, can you turn your camera on and off real quick? Because I think. Oh, there we go. Never mind. You're good. You're good.
Nope. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do.
No, she did.
Okay.
But then she didn't catch me saying no.
Without me doing anything.
Oh, no worries.
And then there she is. Okay. And then I caught up on X-Men 97, and I didn't have blubbering over a retro cartoon on my bingo card, but there it is. Thank you, episode 5, for nothing. It was my favorite
I have
character.
heard people talking about the episode. They didn't spoil it, but I have heard people talking about it. Yeah.
Again, I got to remind people that the X-Men have always been woke. But yeah, X-Men 97 is going to rub your damn face in it.
Yeah. I need to catch up on Shogun and 3 Body Problem, but that's what I watched on TV. And then last week, I don't know what the hell. My ADHD, I tend to hyper focus on one thing for like several days. And last week I focused on Valley of the Dolls for some fucking reason. I'm sorry.
Right.
I think it's because I found my Criterion Collection copy of the movie. And, so I watched that, and then I read that. And then I read Dolls, 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 which is the backstory of the making of the movie. And so I valleyed the hell out of my dolls last week.
I think of it more of like reuniting with an old friend, because when something comes along that really like makes a big impact on you, and then you take a break from it because you don't just watch the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, oh, hey, how have you been?
Mm-hmm.
I will say this is a bad movie. Valley of the Dolls is a terrible film, and the book is equally terrible, but they're both fun. So, and
you're allowed to like what you like.
Yeah, I like bad movies, and I don't make fun of this one a lot because it stars Sharon Tate, and I can't make fun of her because of how she died. Basically,
I mean, I'll take a stab at it.
That's Billy Flynn at geekdaily.com.
Didn't either Siskel or Ebert write Beyond the Valley
of the
Dolls? Okay.
Yes. I did watch that as well. Yes, it has nothing to do with the original book, but and it's
because it's beyond.
It's insane. It's insane, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Even worse than the first film. So, and then I watched The Eclipse, and that was basically my geeky week.
I too watched the first 2 episodes of Discovery. Loved it. I'm super stoked it's back. I'm sad that it's going, but Discovery as a show has been on a hell of a journey. I liked what they did when it was Brian Fuller. It did get a bit kooky. And then once they got the new showrunners, it seemed to kind of write into this standard Star Trek fare, but better. And then, of course, without it, we wouldn't have Strange New Worlds, which to me is pretty much my favorite Star Trek. Like Star Trek. Otherwise, it's Lower Decks, but that's not really Star Trek, but it's Star Trek. But it's, kind of like how Tag and Bink aren't really Star Wars, but they are, Also watched the first 2 episodes.
Lower Decks did cross over when, and Riker has been in Lower Decks. I don't know. I think Lower Decks counts.
And that saying it's Star Trek, but it's not like Star Trek like serious Star Trek. It's like a different vibe. But saw the first 2 episodes of Fallout. Oh, so good. I am looking forward to the rest of that show. I
Have you
love
already
what they're
watched it,
doing.
Flynn? I know.
Oh, it's if you haven't watched, I highly
We can
recommend
watch
it.
it tonight if you want.
If you're an Uber fan of the game and you don't like the changes, shut it, okay? Because the movie, the any TV show or movie is not going to be as good as the game. It's a different storytelling method, budgets, people, things like that. Enjoy it for what it is. It's in a completely different medium, and it is very, very good. It's got that same dark, twisted sense of humor too. Oh, in some of the best ways. Yeah, no, Flynn, Terry, you guys are gonna love it. And Billy, you'll be proud of me. I finally was able to sit down and watch Confess Fletch.
Nice.
And I loved it. John Hamm is Fletch to me now. He was so good.
He did that so well. It was like the guy I read on the pages. He really brought that to life wonderfully.
Oh, like that is a movie I will be able to watch over and over and over again, just like I can with the original Fletch and Fletch Lives, but they're very different movies. They're very different. The storytelling's different. Chevy Chase was going punchline to punchline, whereas John Hamm was throwing stuff out a lot like Hawkeye would in MASH, where it's like he wasn't throwing it to an audience expecting applause. He said it to entertain himself.
Yeah.
And through that, it entertained all of us. And I absolutely adored it. Still playing a lot of GTA RP, a bunch of 5M. Loving that. We got some big fun stuff coming up with that hopefully soon. And yeah, the Eclipse was really cool. I already talked about that. So that and I plugged in a Roomba for the first time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. And that has been my Geeky Sweek.
It rolls around and vacuums stuff up.
Right. But I'm curious.
Your cats are going to think about it.
Yes, that's the big thing.
So we watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. I had a damn fine time with it. I really did. I was expecting to be very disappointed in this film. I really, really, really was, and I was not very disappointed in this film. I get what you're talking about with nostalgia, but I love the way they worked it in, especially Paul Rudd's little moment about, who you're going to call and how busting makes it feel. I thought was worked in very, 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 very well. So, yeah, I could stand to see a few more of these with these people.
I just need more Paul Rudd and the Spanglers and less of the old guys. Even though Ernie Hudson looked astounding.
The world went crazy.
I liked some of the so I texted my niece because we went to see it. Flynn and I went to see it, and then my niece took MJ to go see it. And I was like, "Oh, there's a couple of little scary parts, like is she gonna be okay?" She's completely fine. But I said something about there's this one sort of jump scare where Slimer, and she texted me back. She goes, "No, we're going to see the new one, not the originals." And I went, "Oops, okay, that might have been a little bit of a spoiler."
That's one thing that I missed from my Geeky Week. I started playing the Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed game. It's a asynchronous 4v1, and it's a blast, and you can play it against bots, and I've been doing that and loving it too. Okay, sorry, Flynn.
Well, see, and because we did this, since I have the fancy new laptop that's awesome and will actually play things, I fired back up the other Ghostbusters video games, basically the Ghostbusters 3 that they did with all the guys, and Dan and Harold wrote the damn game script and everything. It's so good. That is so good and so much better than the crappy one I played on the ColecoVision way back in the day. Because I'm a bit old. I've read the first issue of Batman: The First Night. Now, stand by for this amazingly crazy concept. This is Batman at the beginning of his career. Back in 1939 when he first came out. So I was like, wow, that's an interesting way of looking at it. So I'll stick around for some more. I want to see where this is going because it's an interesting setup. But are you gonna give me something, or are you just gonna play around with the fact that, hey, see, it's the original Batman? Haha, see what we did there? I'm now up to date on Superman 78, The Metal Curtain. This is Christopher Reeve going up against Brainiac, the real Brainiac, not the fake one from Superman 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that is interesting on its own accord, and because I know Brainiac and what Brainiac is capable of, I can't wait to see exactly where they're going with this, because it can't actually be Brainiac the way that I know him. Just can't be. I don't see that. So missed play, the stupid thing where you make points. So I've made enough to. I haven't cashed in the $25, but I've made $25 again because I promised my kid I'd work to 100. And currently, I'm doing that by playing a bunch of Star Trek Fleet Command.
Oh.
So yeah, you get a ship, you get to go on missions, you get to do stuff. Now, of course, being one of these stupid games, you have to build things and blah 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 blah. However, instead of being stuck, oh god, I'm building this now, I'm waiting hours and hours because I want to pay money for this to happen. While the shit's being built, get in your ship and go do missions. Hey, there
Right.
you go.
That's
Put your
cool.
own crew together. So I now have 2 ships out. I have 2 ships that I get to send multiple places. I have multiple things going on. I'm also at the point now where I need to desperately upgrade my ships because the things I need to kill are far more powerful than me. But that's a fun time. That's a fun time. I've played much worse mobile games. So because I was on the new laptop playing stuff, oh hey look, I have this whole collection of really cool pinball games. Oh hey look what's on sale. I forget exactly what they called it, but it came with 4 tables. The 4 tables are a Family Guy table, an American Dad table, an Archer table, and there's also a Bob's Burgers table that I haven't played yet. But the Archer table is pretty damn spiffy. I'm enjoying the hell out of that as well. And then I fired up some of my old pinball games like the Jaws one, which is just insane. That's so good. It's really, really good. Something that I can't say is really, really good, and I'm mixed on this, but crossing something off my list that I should have watched a couple of years ago, I finally watched The New Mutants.
Oh.
Yeah, I dodged this because the writer's strike and whatever.
That was the one with Debbie from Will and Grace, right?
Is she in this?
No, this is the one with Anya or Arya from Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Love her accent, by the way. Love her accent a lot. Very nice. As an adaptation of the comic book, it is absolutely horrendous. It really is. It is not the comic book in any at all. At all, it is not the New Mutants comic book. It really, really is not. The story they're trying to tell, I really think if someone else had gone over this, like maybe just one more time pulling stuff together, there's a good movie in here that doesn't quite get out. That's the I guess the best compliment I can give it. And for those of you in the know, I will say that the big bad kind of crazy thing that we have to fight at the end is a little bit unbearable, and that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. And I'll let Carol roll her eyes appropriately as she should. I am 3 episodes into trying out a little something on Netflix called Area 81. Area 81.
That's on my list.
There you go. An archivist guy who gets to go back and watch, some old footage of stuff to try to piece together things that did happen. And of course, when it's a show like this, you're watching old footage, of course, weird, strange, crazy things start to happen. So it's been an interesting ride so far. I'm willing to keep going with it, so we will see what happens. But yeah, that's one of those things. I'm trying to pick things, and I had to turn down 3 other things that she says she's going to watch with me. And I was like, okay, fine. So we'll try this one here. Maybe that'll work. I believe it possibly could. So I'm kind of a slacker because that is my Geeky Week.
The wonderful Billy Flynn looks at what Chad and Abby are up to now. If you know what TV show they're on this week, you could win yourself a prize. It's your further adventures of Chad and Abby update. Chad and the gang discover a body on a development corporation's land, and then they team up with reporter Roman to investigate the whole thing. Then you need to unwind, so the gang's playing one of those newfangled online games, but what they don't know is they've started playing with a mad programmer inmate and then try to get him to be good after he escapes. Abe discovers a secret water project when he tests the security of a chemical company for a security chief who vanishes after getting that report. Then for Sweeps Week, they all get involved with a shady computer dating service. Now, Chad knows his redhead gang can crack any case. His deadly friend can stop any trouble. His crew will knock out the barbarians at the gate. They are, after all, the ace youngsters, the virtuoso adolescents, the pea striplings. Hashtag Chabby forever.
Looks like you've got mail waiting.
We do. Aha. Hey, geeks. The Virginian has to be James Drury. And the only other thing that James Drury was ever in that sounded like a conflagration casa was a show called Firehouse. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is fantastic. I really thought I had solved it. And then I got to laugh my stupid fool head off. Stay geeky. That is from Malcolm. Well, Malcolm, yes, I almost had it solved too, and then found out I was completely wrong. But you were right. Last week, Chad and Abby were on a show called Firehouse. So there you go. Oh, by the way, yeah, he won because that's right. March was the last one. So Malcolm, congratulations! You got to talk to me. We're going to get you a prize. Now, everyone needs to send in as much entries in This Is Humanly Possible because this is technically our only show of this style. We will be doing a show at RavenCon, but we're not doing Chabby at RavenCon, right? We don't do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, just drop us a note, won't you please? It's podcast at geekradiodaily.com. Or, of course, you can send a voicemail or a text message to the magic numbers of
510 GRD Grill.
See, yeah, you had that. Totally. That was some good stuff. Where's the button I'm supposed to push now?
If you like audiobooks and science fiction, you should be listening to Glow in the Dark Radio for free science fiction audio adventure every week. Written and read by author and radio host Mike Luoma. Me. Up-and-coming independent writer, I share my work for free each week, chapter by chapter, to get you into my science fiction, I hope. Check out all my books at glowinthedarkradio.com and listen to Glow in the Dark Radio free each week on iTunes, TuneIn, or just head to glowinthedarkradio.com.
Hi, this is Corin Nemec from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and you're listening to Geek Radio Daily.
You are. And that may or may not be indicative of anything at all. I don't know what the hell you're even talking about at this point.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Geek News!
Look at the world from a geeky point of view.
Dune Part 2 has been a huge hit, and perhaps only one thing could eclipse it in infamy, the viral AMC sandworm popcorn bucket that had everyone talking and doing other things. Looking back, it appears the theater chain increasing novelty popcorn holder vendor might have done things very differently if it had known how you filthy animals were going to use it. We continue to learn and evolve. We would have never imagined the Dune thing. We would never have created it knowing it would be celebrated or mocked, AMC Chief Content Officer Elizabeth Frank told Variety about the overwhelming response to the sandworm bucket, which even got cast and crew talking for its soft, wormy tendrils, driving people to go crazy with demand for the Shia LaBeouf-shaped vessel. Of course, the Dune bucket even got its own SNL skit, although Frank didn't think that its success either means there's demands for the theater chain to go even more deranged for future buckets, or that the increasing trend of wildly shaped popcorn holders is suddenly a vital part of the company's plans. Some fans are collectors. There's another group of people who are specific film fans, buying 3 different Ghostbusters products. It's all a mix, Frank continued. It's a material part of our food and beverage business, but it's not the majority of it. It also makes the movies more fun. I bet the Dune bucket made something. I bet. Buy one, especially if you don't have a friend going with you. I bet
for his pleasure.
I bet the Dune bucket made some other things more fun too, but perhaps we shouldn't go chasing sandworms looking for another of its kind anytime soon. Unless they ever put out a sequel to Teeth.
Speaking of movies, Amazon MGM Studios has announced that Project Hail Mary will release in theaters in 2026. Revealed at CinemaCon alongside previews of other upcoming films, the announcement marks a significant milestone for fans eagerly awaiting the adaptation of Andy Weir's gripping novel. Helmed by the acclaimed directing duo Phil Lord and Chris Miller, known for their work on hits like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and The Lego Movie, and almost Solo, maybe. We might have had a good movie, maybe. The sci-fi epic promises to captivate audiences with its gripping storyline and a stellar cast. Leading the charge is Ryan Gosling, recognized for his versatile performances in such films as Barbie and La La Land, who not only stars in the film, but also serves as a producer. Gosling is no stranger to outer space, having previously starred in the Neil Armstrong biopic First Man. With a script penned by Drew Goddard, God dang, guys, who penned Cabin in the Woods and Bad Times at the El Royale, a movie I absolutely adore. The project is described as an irresistible interstellar adventure. It promises to deliver a tale of
Great timing. Great timing.
a tale of discovery, speculation, and survival, reminiscent of Weir's previous work, The Martian, which also received a film adaptation. I would like to say it's about time we stopped saving Matt Damon and started saving other actors from space disasters. So I'm good with saving Ryan Gosling this time.
Yay.
Saving Private Ryan Gosling.
Papa Goss, as we call him.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about AI earlier, and there's been lots of conversations about AI. Before I got out of the education industry, it was something we were working on drafting, like an AI policy for the division, and it's definitely something that a lot of people are thinking about. Teachers using Canva to make different things, Chat GPT to you put in the standards and it can make a quiz, etc. What could they do? What should they do? Well, Seattle Public Schools this month started rolling out a new software from a startup called Magic School AI. They sell generative AI tools to help teachers quickly generate lesson plans, student feedback, and more. It's a Denver, Colorado-based company founded last year. It has separate tools for students designed to enhance learning and teach responsible AI use. Seattle schools will use Magic School software for both teachers and students, and has resources, to help everybody. But I mean, we know a lot about AI, but given the novelty of this tool, they're still exploring its potential to enhance student learning while maintaining a focus on fostering, thinking and creativity. It was actually the product founded by a former principal and teacher, Adil Khan. I don't know that. Oh, is that anything? Is that like Khan Academy Con? Oh, that would be cool. Magic School is used by 2,500 schools and district partners already. So you can prompt it to generate teaching materials based on your own parameters. And obviously, humans have to look over it. You're still the subject matter expert, and you have to vet it and make sure that it is actually accurate. There are 60 different tools available. It's growing fast. They say that it's compliant that with federal laws. You may be thinking, what about COPA and FERPA and all of those student data privacy laws? And apparently it is compliant, but it's new, right? So it's how much, what is it actually really doing with the data? I guess if it's a closed AI, or you get your own AI and nobody else's data goes in, who knows, right? It trains its models to moderate content for students too. So, bad words and that kind of stuff. It's also billed as maybe a more affordable option than Copilot or Chat GPT. I mean, it has to be more affordable than Microsoft, who knows how to get a buck out of everything. And then, I think it's interesting to think that school divisions have to kind of lean in on this a little bit, in that, their kids are going to use it. If you don't, unless you completely block everything on that, you can't even block stuff on their own personal devices. So you kind of have to get with it, but it's kind of scary, I think, a little bit. The future is very uncertain, and we don't know exactly how this is going to play out, and certainly ethical implications, plagiarism, and all that stuff. But teachers, as we know, are some of the most underpaid and hardest working people, and plus having to deal with behavioral issues and all of that stuff. If you can take something off of their plate like this, I'm all for it, in a way that still maintains the fidelity of learning and all of the stuff they need to do. Maybe they even come up with more engaging and interesting things than your average brand new teacher might think of. So I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting to see now that some of these schools are rolling it out, of what will actually come of AI in education. So we'll see as Seattle Public Schools monitors or pilots this program.
Yay. Do it right.
Yeah.
So, Tim Kring's Heroes is eyeing a second encore with Heroes Eclipsed, a new incarnation of the popular 2006 superhero drama series, and it's being pitched to buyers now near the solar eclipse. You see what they did? The
Synergy.
series did start off with a solar eclipse in the pilot, which became a recurring element throughout the series. It was also in its logo, because in fairness, Heroes really did have a lot of darkness covering its light. Written by Kring, Heroes Eclipsed is set years after the events of the original series as new Evos because that's what they're called, are being awakened and discovering powers that will change their lives, featuring familiar villains, new enemies who once again will be attempting to suppress this next step in human evolution. It'll be up to this new group of heroes to save the world and presumably a new cheerleader. The premise evokes the 2015 limited series Heroes Reborn, also created by Kring, which was set years after the original series, introduced a new group of Evos, because that's what they're called, as more ordinary people discovered that they have unique abilities. New characters were joined by, like, Noah Bennett, Jack Coleman, and Sidney Ramathermi, whose name I never get right, Masaoki, Greg Grunberg. I still want a Christopher Eccleston spinoff, and I'm never ever going to get it. Heroes ran for 4 seasons after an incredible first season that everybody really, really loved. Save the Cheerleader, Save the World was on everything. It was crazy. It earned an Outstanding Drama Series Emmy nomination. But the original series and, later seasons and Heroes Reborn didn't fare quite as well. Whatever. According to sources, the new Heroes incarnation, which is envisioned as an ongoing series, has been pitched to NBC along with streamers. Even though the writer's strike happened, look, we got to be honest, Heroes only ever really had one good season. The whole Circus of Crime thing was just stupid. And look, if you're trying to bring Heroes back again, keep bringing it back. Your heroes are really going to become villains. GRD is licensed to the Creative Commons Attribution, non-commercial, non-derivative works. Nice to super likes. Come check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. Stop by the website at geekradiodaily.com. I'm just saying, let it die. Any chance Heroes could come back and wow us again like they did the first season? Any chance at all? No, I don't think so either.
Are they able to get Hayden Panties back? Maybe.
Well, I mean, I'd kind of want to drop us note. It's
like
podcasting.
a 3 now. Dude, she's no longer a cheerleader.
And what do people call me? At geekradiodaily.com, of course, send us a voicemail or text message at the magic numbers of
510 GRD Crew.
And we will have a show that will be recording from RavenCon, and that's kind of the thing. So deal with it.
First of all, a podcast takes a lot of work, okay?
Good night, suckers. Well, here we go again.
So you want to be a hitman? Gordon's making me. I don't want to. Well, it's a lousy way to make a living. I don't think I can do this. Hey, come on. I want to take a positive approach to this. Have you ever killed a guy before? No. Shot a gun? No. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Neither did I when I first started, and now look at me. I'm number 1 here. You can do this. Trust me, huh? Huh? Guess I don't have a choice. No, you don't. And one other thing. I won't work with a guy who enjoys it. Things can get out of hand. I've seen it happen. Treat this as a job. You'll be fine. Okay. You sure don't want any juice? No, thanks.
What was that from?
That is from the movie Cold Blooded, starring Peter Reigart and Jason Priestley.
Okay.
Small role, Janine Garofalo.
I remember having that as a trailer on a VHS for something. And I was wondering if that was Reigart, because I was like, I think that's his voice.
Well, yeah, because that was supposed to be my intro. What was mine that was intro? Hold it, where's my thing? I was supposed to be the guy, the guy who likes to be very specific. You know me, I'm the wonderful Billy Flynn.
We're willing to trade looks for a certain kind of morally casual attitude.
Oh, you mean you want somebody he can screw on the first date?
Well put.
Well, save it for next show.
Sure. But no, dude, Cold Blooded, if you want to see Jason Priestley act, watch Cold Blooded. It's astounding. He is so good in that movie. He becomes a hitman, didn't want to be a hitman. He's surprisingly good at it. And so it's a wonderful little, mobster movie thing from the point of view of a couple of hitmen, a guy training a new hitman. And it goes some places you really don't expect it to go, but it's a solid film. It's one of these things that came out in the 90s that just flew by everybody, that nobody had any idea. And I just randomly discovered it one night from Blockbuster.
I was going to say either Blockbuster or Hollywood Video.
No, see, for me, because I was in Northern Virginia,
Mm.
if I didn't go to Blockbuster, I went to, wait for it, Purple Potamus.
Yeah. We still have a popcorn bowl from there.
Purple
Nice.
Potamus Video. Yes, sir.
Oh man.
Because they also rented laser discs. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. I rented the Pulp Fiction laser disc from Purple Potamus Video. Thank you.
nice.
And being Purple Potamus and, not a nationwide chain, yeah, they had a back area. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Had to go through chains, beads, or was it just curtain?
I think it was beads. I think it was beads.
That made the jangly sound so people couldn't sneak in. Smart.
Exactly. Yep. And, give you proper warning since I know what you're doing in there, you freak ass.
Speaking of trailers, did anyone see the Joker?
Yes.
I do trailer.
Looks interesting.
I am intrigued.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Hells yes, I am.
I think Miss Siam is one of the songs that they reference in it, isn't it?
Whatever they want to try, I'm there for because I absolutely loved that first film. Oh my God, did I love that movie. And we were in an audience with people that had no idea what film they were there to see. At the end of it, like some teenagers got the fuck up. They were pissed. The fuck was that, man? The fuck was that? They
Go back to Jared Leto.
It was also weird because like there were these two black church ladies is the only way to describe it because they're like in their 50s and they've got their little dress things and they're here watching the movie and the whole like she's what's her face his girlfriend who was that who played her?
I don't remember.
Zoe was
was it the
Zoe
lady who played
Kravitz?
Domino in
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz. That is. So she's talking at one point, and there's, oh girl, no, you got to break up with him. You got to get away from him. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, you are believing the most untrustworthy main character we've had in a motion picture in I don't know how long. You're actually believing this shit happens. When they found out that wasn't real, it fucked with them. They were like, wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, that was all in his head, girl. It was crazy. And I'm just like, who are all you people here to watch this? Why are you here?
Tyler Perry is not capable of having a narrator that you can't trust,
And I'm sure I didn't make anybody.
It's unfair. He probably is.
That movie ends, and I just started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I just started cracking the hell up, and they weren't the only ones that got bothered because she looks over at me and goes, "What's so funny?" And I was like, "I tell you, but I really don't think you'd understand."
It's a white male thing. You wouldn't get it.
I just want to be like, oh my God, did you see all the Batman like things all around the entire movie? Jesus God, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. I really liked it.
And I don't know that they had to be going for it, but that was sort of a very weird take on the King of Comedy there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I love that, yes, and I'm tired of pretending it's not, has entered our lexicon now. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's just great. Oh. And Lady Gaga is Harley Quinn. Jesus God, please bring it to me.
I think it works with the universe that they've created with that Joker universe.
There.
Yeah. She's gonna be able to play very messed up, yeah.
I can only dream.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream because I'm about to drop. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you check us out at geekradiodaily.com.
Hey, we play poker on Saturday. Come play poker with us.
Yes, go play poker with them.
Play Jackbox on Friday, but poker's Saturday, damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't say that during the show.
Liquor in the front. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you guys here in a little bit.